Photography, an underrated web skill. Our aim here is to turn you into the web equivalent of a triple threat. In Hollywood, a triple threat is someone who can dance, sing, and act. Already, you know the basics of marketing. You can write, you can design, and you can build websites. That little bit of extra knowledge puts you head and shoulders above all those webmasters and marketers that just spam the web with derivative content. The next thing to look into learning then is photography. Photography is another skill that can help to elevate a brand to the next level online. And this is in a lot of demand among publishers. That's because photography can be used to accompany a blog post and make it look more engaging and interesting. And it can also be used in order to promote a product and make it look like something that people will be eager to buy. Photography can really help to sell the dream, as we discussed. And this is particularly powerful when used on social accounts such as Instagram, where it can help you to make a massive impact by promoting a certain lifestyle and dream. Learn photography, and you've learned just one more skill that 99% of people who try to make a name for themselves online don't know. And that makes you even more employable and gives you even more of an edge over the competition. The laws of great photography. So what does it take to make incredible photographs? First of all, having a great camera can of course make a big difference. While you shouldn't make the mistake of believing that your success entirely comes down to having the right camera, this will indeed make a big difference. You don't need to spend a fortune. A good place to start is by getting a mirrorless camera that will give you manual controls regarding focus, aperture, etc. The Lumix G7 is a fantastic starting camera, and especially if you combine it with an extra lens such as the f1.7 25mm. This won't set you back more than a few $100s, but the results will be photos that look like they were taken by a professional photographer and video that has an almost movie-like quality. That said, if you were forced to make do with a camera phone, it's still possible to take great photos. Just spend some time thinking about each shot rather than simply pointing your camera directly at whatever is the subject matter and having it the center of the frame. Try to be more original and creative in your photos and ask yourself, what is the story you're trying to tell? What do you want to convey through your images? What emotion are you trying to evoke? How could this shot be made more interesting? A good starting point is to consider not just the foreground, but also the middle ground and the background. This can help you to create a sense of depth, and when done well, this should lead the eye deeper into the picture and create more of a sense of 3D. This is also better for portraying scale. Scale is something else that is important, by the way. Photos of mountains and views often look dull because they don't convey the height or the depth, and that means that they can't portray what it really feels like to be there. To solve this problem, look for additional elements that you can include, such as pebbles and rocks in the foreground, or of course, a person. Likewise, you can use things in the foreground to frame something in a more interesting manner. Leaves around the edge of your photo can help to frame whatever is happening in the middle ground and provide that depth as well as the feeling that you are peeking out at the action that is going on. In these situations, think about the focus too. Do you want to open up the aperture and focus on the foreground? That way you can blur out the background and really make the subject the focus. Or do you want to focus on the background more and blur out the foreground, thereby making sure that the foreground, while decorative, isn't distracting? Or perhaps the foreground and the background are thematically linked. That might mean a pair of shoes thrown off on the floor while someone runs off into the sea in the background. This works well because it tells a story rather than simply showing a static and dull image. Upward angles tend to make something look bigger and thus more important. Downward angles can meanwhile have the opposite effect as you would probably expect. Think as well about the way you set up the shot in terms of the lighting. You'd be surprised how few people even consider lighting, but this is a very important factor. Make sure that the light isn't behind the subject. Ideally, you want a soft light that will hit the subject side on, creating shadows and depth through what is known as Rembrandt lighting. Or how about using brighter light in order to create stark contrast? That might mean having shafts of light coming in through the blinds, for example, and creating a sense of time. Again, it's all about the story you want to tell, and your photo should inform that story. Finally, consider the background and your presentation. If you're taking a photo of yourself working on the computer to demonstrate the laptop lifestyle, then that can be a really great way to subtly promote a product that teaches people to work online. But this will only work effectively as long as the background isn't filled with piles of ironing and washing. Remember, every item tells a story. So think about the story you want to tell and set the scene accordingly. And spend some time reading. You need to learn about the exposure triangle and more in order to become a truly great photographer. developing your skills further. Of course, if you really want to enhance your skill set, then it will pay to also learn After Effects. This is the tool that can be used in conjunction with Premiere in order to accomplish all kinds of awesome things, from retro 80s intros to incredible video openers. This will raise your game to the point where you're creating inspiring and completely original work that many creators will boggle at. And this just goes to show that the more skills you choose to add to your repertoire, the more you will grow and the more opportunities will come your way. So what else can you learn? Well, I would highly recommend that you learn to program. Learn to program, and you can rest assured that you will never be without work. Learning to program gives you the ability to build apps and to create far more complex websites. More than that, though, it gives you an area of expertise that is in very high demand and that a lot of people know nothing about. I was recently approached by a company to write content at $2 per word, and the project was several thousand words long. That's right, they were offering thousands of dollars for a couple of articles. This is a difference that comes from knowing any subject matter well. And there's so many jobs for coders on the web that it's unreal. If you learn Java or Python, then people will come hammering on your door. And even if you don't choose to take them up on their offer, creating an app and selling it on mobile is a fantastic form of a digital product. This goes for whatever your area of expertise is. Develop it and turn it into something that you're really a top-level expert in. Want to run a fitness website? Then go and get that personal training degree. It's expensive, but the qualification will make a huge difference to who listens to you and who hires you. Likewise, pretty much any skill you have can be incredibly useful online. Not so hot at writing or design, but great at music? For instance, there is a huge demand for music that people can put on their YouTube videos, or they can use to market in other ways. This is a gig you can sell very effectively on Fiverr. That can also be the nature of your content. Want to be a famous rock star? Then set up a website and a vlog. Put out your music and get noticed, and eventually you might get contacted. And while you're at it, you could also turn that photography skill into something you sell. Stock imagery sells for a lot on the web. Other amazing skills to learn are 3D CAD design, manufacturing. The list goes on. So don't just write content and call yourself a marketer. Learn these skills and become absolutely unstoppable. Then the web is yours. Introduction. Internet marketing can mean a lot of things. For some, internet marketing is practically synonymous with affiliate marketing. This is the process of selling products made by other people in order to earn commission. But internet marketing can be more than that too. Of course, internet marketing can mean building a website or a blog, building a massive audience for that platform, and then making money from adverts, Google AdSense for instance, or selling your own products. Internet marketing might mean selling a digital product such as an ebook or an online course. Internet marketing might mean selling something physical. Internet marketing may mean promoting a website as the end in itself, simply building a channel so that you can spread the word about something that's important to you, or so that you can try to promote yourself to grow your own career. I recently spoke to a group of creative writers and explained to them how learning the basics of marketing on the web could allow them to promote themselves and find publishers. And of course, internet marketing might mean marketing an existing business in order to gain more customers and make more sales. Any small business should be interested in marketing themselves online. The fact of the matter is, internet marketing means getting the word out on the web, and it means creating brilliant content. And if you can do either or both of those things, then you can make the web work for you. Once you do that, then pretty much anything is possible. Literally. We'll see later in this training how the ability to work online can allow pretty much any of your wildest dreams and plans to come true. Whether that means earning a passive income and traveling the world, or whether it means growing a massive business or working on projects that you are truly passionate about and getting paid for it. The only problem is that very few people have any idea what makes the web tick. People tell me they want to start their own business selling crafts, or they tell me that they want to start blogging for fun, but they have zero clue what that entails. What is SEO? What is marketing? If you're sitting there smugly thinking that you already know the basics of internet marketing, then time for a reality check. Because even if you know the basics of internet marketing, there's a good chance that you don't have all of the advanced skills you need to really make any project into a success. In this training, then, I'm going to start by outlining those basics. I'm going to teach you Internet Marketing 101, for those of you with no prior experience. This is what makes the web tick. This is your bread and butter. But from there, I'm then going to dive into the much more advanced stuff that many internet marketing gurus in reality have no idea about whatsoever. You will learn skills here that will put you head and shoulders above the competition. You will learn tools that will make you immensely employable, to the point that you are never without work. And you'll be able to turn any idea or concept into a reality.